But just how close is school board member Diane McGraw to the border? Let's find out. McGraw lives just 5 doors down from the district boundary. And by my calculations, 384 feet. Just 24 hours ago, this abandoned hotel was swarming with law enforcement officers searching for the body of 13-year-old Delia Marie Young. Now, it may not look like it right now, but all these plants around me are actually blueberry bushes. In fact, Lee tells me that one day in a couple months, this bud could grow up to 5 blueberries, and some here might even grow more than 7. Just flip up the kickstand, give it a push, and off you go. With such an easy process, it's become a new favorite way for Gainesvillians to get around town. Manhart says when the district released its plans on social media January 7th, it didn't give any parents a heads up, causing many to voice their concerns in the comments. Yes, Landry, the Montaltos, no relation, but I might have to check with Ancestry, own the Magnolia Plantation Bed and Breakfast downtown. A year into COVID-19, they're doing well, but the pandemic definitely had its challenges. So just 3 months ago, I stood in this very field, and let me tell you, it looks a lot different now than it did then. Lee says once these berries are picked, they can go anywhere, from a store near you all the way up to Maine, just 2 days.
People turn into kids, you know, and every alligator has to be pointed out, you know. When we see 100 of them, like during a drawdown, you can see 100.
For years, Karen Chadwick has piloted tour groups up and down the Ocklawaha River. Watching tour groups connect over breathtaking views of this historic Florida waterway has become her favorite part of the job. But over the years, Chadwick and other environmentalists have faced a common enemy.
It's like a foot across its throat, is the way one person put it that lives on the Ocklawaha. It basically changes everything about the ability of the river to communicate downstream with the rest of the environment.
But every few years, North Florida gets a glimpse of the river's natural flow in what's called a drawdown. The Kirkpatrick Dam's gates open for a few months to clear out aquatic plants that congregate in the Rodman Reservoir. And for some time, Chadwick says, things are as they should be.
When they do the drawdown, the trees are this big in the first 4 months. Then they all drown when they bring the water back up.
But Chadwick says there's also another danger, dam failure.
So if the dam broke now, we would be gone. We would die. Yeah. Look at that middle gate. Well, the one second to the right, it's really rusty.
So if you're seeing this, it means I'm still around and so is the dam. But Chadwick says it's entirely possible that one of these days that dam might burst, sending a wave of water all the way down to Welaka. Putnam County Commissioner Larry Harvey is a staunch reservoir supporter. In an interview with WUFT's Jessica Seldner, Harvey said there's no imminent danger of dam failure.
There's no real studies that show that we're at critical mass right now. Do we have improvements that need to be done? Surely there are. But there's nothing said that, you know, we're fixing to have a major breach.
A 2015 inspection report from the Florida Department of Environmental Protection recommended 91 repairs, including replacement of corroded underwater bolts holding seals on all 4 gates. But back on the boat with no end in sight, Chadwick motors on, fighting for her river. According to a timeline from Jim Gross of the Florida Defenders of the Environment, a 2002 special use permit from the U.S. Forest Service has lapsed, meaning the state is operating the dam on Forest Service lands without a permit. The state plans to restore the river once funds become available. We'll keep looking for more updates on this story, but for now, live in the newsroom, Anthony Montalto, WUFT News.
Let's do our very best to be kind to one another one last time as Cougars.
To Tim Adams, Miller Middle School is home. But today is the last day he'll walk the halls as principal, the last day students will play in the gym. Miller Middle School will close its doors for the final time today.
I started here 21 years ago as a 4th grade classroom teacher myself when it was an intermediate school. Over the years we've transitioned to being a middle school. And had a chance to come back home 4 years ago with our superintendent. He made an announcement that I was coming back home to be the principal of Miller Middle School, and this is where I've been since.
The closure comes after a February decision from the Putnam County School Board to close 4 schools as part of a revitalization plan.
We have met with a number of community members. We had a a work group representing people from all over the district that provided suggestions on how we might tweak this plan.
And while a bittersweet day, Adams is excited for the next chapter.
As we move forward, it's an exciting opportunity. Our kids are excited, and I think the sky's the limit for what we're about to do.
While all the students and faculty are leaving Miller Middle School, their new home is just down the street at Crescent City High School.
Miller Middle School, while it's a mainstay within our district, within our community, it is an older building.
Adams says that means it's sometimes difficult to make necessary safety upgrades, one of the deciding factors to close the school built in the 20s. He says it's the right decision, but there are some things he'll miss next year as principal of Crescent City Junior-Senior High School.
The old gymnasium, if you take a look at the gymnasium, it reminds me of the movie Hoosiers. Our cafeteria, it's pretty small, but very quaint and cozy. And of course our auditorium. Our auditorium will continue to be used.
While teachers and administrators wave goodbye to students, as is their years-long tradition, they know they'll see each other again in a few weeks, but this time in a new home. Anthony Montalto, WUFT News. The House Budget Committee meets today to debate and discuss the American Rescue Plan, but what does the plan include? Let's break it down. The proposal is a $1.9 trillion aid package designed to stimulate the U.S. economy. The package includes $1,400 payments to individuals, and new this time around is the fact that adult dependents like college students are eligible. Adult dependents were left out of the first two rounds of stimulus payments. Children over 16 didn't qualify as dependents for stimulus purposes. The proposed bill gradually increases the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour by 2025. In November, Florida voters decided to raise Florida's minimum wage to the same amount. Florida's minimum wage will reach $15 in 2026. Also on the list is billions in funding to schools and small businesses, as well as boosts to unemployment benefits. According to several sources, House Democrats say they plan to push a vote on the bill this week. For The Lead, I'm Anthony Montalto.